These are the notes for section 6.2 on rates. They're similar to ratios, but they have some special properties of their own. So rates are used for prices, mileage in our car. We always want to know our MPG, or miles per hour, miles per gallon. There's all kinds of things we can measure with rates. Speed, and several other things that we'll get into as we go. The difference between a ratio and a rate. Ratios have matching units like we talked about, but rates do not. Units must be kept on rates. We can't drop them like we did before. You have to keep those dollar signs, the gallons, the hours, whatever the measurement is, it needs to stay on your rate. So let's look at some examples to write each rate as a fraction in lowest terms. So if I was going to pay $6 for 30 packages, $6 for 30 packages, I can reduce that down to $1 for 5 packages. But I keep the dollar sign and I keep the packages. So $1 for 5 packages. If I traveled 500 miles in 10 hours, 500 miles in 10 hours, I can reduce that down to 50 miles in 1 hour. That's how our cars measure their speed, 50 miles per hour. Go ahead and pause the video and try examples 3 and 4. Try example 3 and 4. So example 3 says 4 teachers for 80 students. So 4 teachers for 80 students. That reduces down to 1 teacher for 20 students, which is about our class size. A little small for some, but about our class size. Example 4, 1,270 bushels from 30 acres. That could be bushels of hay, corn, any kind of crop. So 1,270, I'm going to put B for bushels. From 30, I'm going to put A for acres. That reduces down to 127 bushels per 3 acres. And farmers like to keep up with that to see how they're doing. So rates again are just like ratios, except we keep the units on them because they don't match like they did for ratios. We keep all those units attached. Alright, there's something called a unit rate, which we use all the time. Very important, these unit rates. And if you budget when you're shopping and you price shop, you do this all the time, whether you realize it or not. Unit rates. So when the denominator of the rate, once you write it as a fraction, when the denominator of the rate is 1 unit, that could be $1, 1 gallon, 1 hour. When it's 1 unit, it is called a unit rate. So just for example, if you make $12 an hour, that means you get paid $12 for every 1 hour of work. That is your unit rate, $12 per hour. So let's work on finding some unit rates. You'll probably need a calculator for some of these. So have your calculator handy. So if I paid $4.35 for 3 pounds of cheese, I'm going to actually divide, we'll use our calculator, $4.35 divided by 3 pounds. That means I'm paying $1.45 per pound, or $1.45 for 1 pound. But we use the word per to represent a unit weight, or a unit rate per pound for 1 pound. Alright, let's look at example 2 together. If I traveled 304 miles on 9.5 gallons of gas, I measure this all the time, 304 divided by 9.5, that means I got 32 miles per gallon. Some of the newer cars do this for you, but the older cars, we always calculate what our miles per gallon were. How far did we get for every gallon we bought? Go ahead and try example 3 and 4 on your own. Just pause the video and try these two. Example 3 and 4. Alright, for example 3, $850 in 5 days. $850 in 5 days. We'll go ahead and divide. 850 divided by 5. That means you made $170 per day. Pretty good money. And again with example 4, if we cook 24 pounds of turkey for 15 people, 24 pounds for 15 people, 24 divided by 15, that's 1.6 pounds per person. So if you're cooking a big Thanksgiving dinner, I know people measure this all the time to see how much each person can eat. Alright, so those are unit rates. And we use this when we're shopping, when we're planning meals, all kinds of things, when we're trying to figure out how much we made for the day. All kinds of things use rates. So specifically when we're shopping, we always want to find what's called the best buy. We always want to get the most for our money. So this last part is about finding the best buy. So we use these unit rates to find the best buy for different products. The lowest unit rate is the best buy. Remember, we're spending money here, so we want the smallest number. The lowest unit rate is the best buy. And you always want to divide the cost, or the money, by the amount, or the size. Ounces, liters, gallons, whatever that size is. Always divide the money by the amount. So if we're buying pancake syrup, and we can buy 12 ounces for $1.28, 24 ounces for $1.81, or 36 ounces for $2.73, we want to know which one is the best buy. So we're going to, for the first one, we're going to do 128 divided by 12. Again, the money divided by the size. That is 1 point. You don't want to round too much on these. You want a lot of decimals so that you can really compare. So that's like 10 or 11 cents per ounce. Here, $1.81 divided by 24. That's 0.0754 per ounce. and 273 divided by 36. That's 0.0758. So like I said, you really have to take these out. I would say 4 or 5 decimal places because they can get fairly close together per ounce. So this is about 10 or 11 cents per ounce. This is 7.5 cents per ounce. This is about 7.6. It's a little bit more cents per ounce. So the best buy for this pancake syrup is the 24-ounce bottle. That would be your best buy. So you find the unit rate for each one. And again, whichever one is the smallest is the one you want. That's your best buy. Go ahead and try example 2. Pause the video here and try it. Alright, so we have $3.25 for 2 quarts of oil. That's $1.625 per quart. $4.95 for 3 quarts of oil. That's $1.65 per quart. And $6.48 for 4 quarts of oil is $1.62 per quart. So I would suggest writing down each unit rate with as many decimals as you can. And we want to find the lowest one, which looks like it would be 4 quarts for $6.48, because that would only be $1.62 per quart. So there is your best buy out of those 3 options. Same idea with the last one. Go ahead and pause and try example 3 about soda. So you've got 6 cans for $1.99. $1.99 divided by 6 gives us 0.33167 per can, about 33 cents per can. 12 cans for $3.49. Divide that by 12. That's 0.29083, about 29 cents per can. 24 cans for $7.19. That's 0.299583 per can, so slightly more than the 12-pack. So here, 12 cans for $3.49. We tend to think of the like buying in bulk, like at Sam's. The more you buy, the less it costs, which is sometimes true, but sometimes things go on sale. You actually save more money buying the smaller amount. So that's where unit rates can really help us make the best buy. Alright, that's it for section 6.2. Please go through the homework and go review these notes as needed.